Let's get this show on the road.
Hi everyone, my name is Benjamin Niaulin. I'm here with Jasper Oosterveld. How's it going?
Yeah, pretty good.
It's good to see you again. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about Microsoft Teams in general. It's a hot topic right now, and it's not just a hot topic, it's something that's literally going through organizations, putting in place with various challenges. I think also, if I'm not mistaken, Skype for Business is going to be done in July 2021. So I think a lot are going to be moving to Microsoft Teams, some even by force, no?
Yeah.
Do you know how that goes usually? Because I don't know if you're sometimes with Skype for Business customers, but I think that's more voice and telephony. But it'll be interesting for them to switch. What do you think?
Challenge life, so customers are really into voice. Personally, I don't do that much with that, but what I heard from colleagues who are more into that field, those customers are probably going to stick to Skype for Business on premises though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it makes sense unless there's something that comes up. But we'll see. There's a lot of integrations, right? Teams for the hub for teamwork, if you will. It's the buzz. I don't want to say buzzword, but it's the brand, right? It's the brand. I always say there's two Microsoft Teams. There's Microsoft Teams, the idea, and then there's Microsoft Teams Team, which is the chat room with tabs that allows you to go to the other things. And one of the strong power of Microsoft Teams is definitely the tabs, because it allows you to connect with other things that are outside of Teams. And I think they just announced a lot with Yammer integrations. What do you think about that?
Yeah, going back to the tab thing, I think that's one of the strongest things they had from the moment they launched. The tabs, like what you said, because you integrate external services, internal services, so there's less switching for end users. And I think that's one really makes it really, really powerful. And I'm really happy that now Yammer is finding its place. Also like how it's being positioned now, so it is all about communication, engagement, and that we're going to get this dedicated app within Yammer, in Teams, sorry, in Teams. Because we had sort of like an integration, but it wasn't really working well. So
what does that mean, dedicated app?
So probably in the next year, you're going to get like a little tile on the left side, and if you click on it, you will see the Yammer network from your company.
Directly in Teams?
Directly in Teams.
Well integrated.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And how do you said it's a lot more clear how Yammer positions itself. What is that exactly? Well, if you had a customer that you would talk to tomorrow, they've never heard of Office 365, and they've never heard of Teams, and they've never heard of Yammer, how would you place both of them?
So how I look at it is that if you're looking for collaboration, it's an easy choice. It's Teams. If you're a larger organization which is trying to reach a large group of people, so people who are spread out in other continents or countries or offices, and you really want to reach out to those people, I think that's really Yammer's strong suit, because everybody's part of one network. It doesn't matter where you work, what your position is, so you reach a lot more people. So I definitely advise for customers to look into Yammer. Let's say you're a smaller company, like let's say 50 to 100. I think Teams could work.
Yeah, I think so too. From what I've seen with Yammer, and I really love what they're doing with the new stuff. It's really about sort of these outward communication. So I split things into three: me, we, us.
So in your session, that was great.
And the we stuff for me is collaboration, like we as a department, or we as a team, we as a project, we're working to deliver something. And then sometimes it's us as the department, or us as the company, or us as the soccer team. And there you use Yammer to be able to communicate. And I always see it like threaded communication, so like forum style, that you can have like a video and then you can post questions, I think they have announced like Mark as answer or something. So it's more that type of communication where Teams is really more live chat right now, or my go-to work day really. And it's really how I separate the two. But you're right, if you're a small company,
Teams could work. I mean,
Yammer, you mean?
No, I mean like
Teams could work in the sense that it could do the whole thing. Because there's even an org-wide team that you can create that creates the whole company together. And I think as soon as you get a new user that joins, it automatically gets them added to the org.
That's powerful.
Is there any other integrations that you find are necessary or very important that you would recommend to a customer with Microsoft Teams? Like, what are the go-to, if you launch Microsoft Teams in an organization, of course it comes with SharePoint and it comes with Planner, but what are the integrations that you find are a must for people to start with when they start?
Yeah, I think what's nice about Teams, you can start so quickly. So what you said, there's SharePoint with it, so they can store their files centrally. You have your notebook, you have your planner, and I think that's relatively easy to set up. And I think what we need to look for now is more integration of business processes, and see how you can automate that within Teams. So, for example, look at Power Apps. Flow, I think it's called Power Automate now, right?
Yeah.
It's hard
So
to
I
keep
think
up sometimes.
it's called Power Automate, and inside of it you create flows.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Even for us, it's sometimes confusing.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I think that's the next step for Teams, and I think Microsoft's really focusing on that as well. So like some sessions around that area.
So business processes to where you work, which is Microsoft Teams,
exactly.
and that's going to be delivered through the Power Platform, right?
Exactly.
Through Power Apps. That's more mobile apps if you don't know it. So you can create mobile apps, which are also basically forms because you don't need to be on a mobile phone. And what I like about Power Apps is that you can connect to multiple sources at the same time to create one app. But what I don't like too much is that it's hard to use when you get started. You cannot just pick it up and go. You're going to spend a couple of maybe days, some training to figure out properly how to use it. Power Automate though, or Flows, whatever, you can
It's
get
a little
started.
bit better. Yeah, it's a little bit easier to understand.
To do advanced stuff, you still need some training, but definitely a lot faster. Interesting. So if I get started tomorrow, I'm going to put in Teams. If I want to have a larger organization, I may want to look into the outer communication or us communication with Yammer integrations into Teams.
I think also Yammer with SharePoint communication sites. I think that's a good combination too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Yammer's also launching a new web part that looks really nice.
Yeah, what does it do?
Well, I think that's the full experience now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we can do basically everything. Yeah.
Okay, so we really have deep integration between all of the platforms. And then what you're saying is that I can take my business processes, so everything that makes the company run, turn them into either things that we automate or Power Apps that help us surface the information or enter it directly in the hub for teamwork, aka Microsoft Teams.
That's correct. Yeah, and also you see a lot of more usage around bots as well.
Yes, I wanted to talk to you about that actually. So the integrations, we're talking about app, but there's also integrating through bots. How was your experience so far with, are customers picking that up quite a bit, or are they listening for it? What's going on with bots?
Yeah, I think it was very basic at the start. I think it's still pretty basic, but I think there are more and more tools now for developers to make it more interesting. Again, it's not my field of expertise. I have a lot of colleagues who are more into that, but for example, you have the Q&A maker. Okay. It's a really interesting tool that really learns from the questions people are asking, and you could integrate it in Teams so people can ask questions. So I like the integration of business processes and flows. I think that's also really one to look at for in the future, like the bot integration.
Absolutely. I think we use it, not necessarily the Microsoft Teams bots, but in general speaking, internally as a company, we have a chatbot on our website because not everyone wants to call for support, or not everyone wants to send an email. Sometimes you just want to chat with someone real quick because as humans today, we're used to texting, we're used to just chatting for everything. We're even looking into bots for our applications. So we have Apricot that does governance that I'm sure you've heard of. And we, during a Teams bot as well, be like, hey, because ultimately what we found out is we don't want to take people out of work. And this goes with everything we're talking about. You want to go where people are working, bring them the information they need, or help them make the decision that they need to do. So,
and Teams is that.
And Teams is that platform. I really agree. So it'll be interesting to see if people are going to build bots, or if the business processes we're talking about, like Power Automate, if it's something that can come directly as a bot integration. Actually, I have a question for you. What is the difference between a bot and a connector in Microsoft Teams?
With a bot, you can actually interact with, and a connector just pushes information.
So it's like an RSS feed?
Yeah, this is basically, and that's what you had with Yammer in the beginning. So if you had a Yammer connector and you connected it with a Yammer group and something was posted there, you got a message, like a chat message in Teams.
Okay.
Yeah, and a bot has more interaction. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, that helps quite a bit. Thanks, Jasper. No problem. So that's a bit integrations with Teams today. We talked a little bit about watch out for the 2021 date for Skype for Business. At least plan for it. What are you going to do? How are you going to migrate to Microsoft Teams and everything else that goes with it if you have. We talked about some of the Teams integrations with Yammer specifically. So where's Yammer's place when you have Microsoft Teams? I think that's getting clearer. So that's definitely interesting. And then we talked about integrations with Microsoft Teams that are happening today. Very exciting stuff.
Oh, definitely.
I look forward to see you at another place.
Another place. I'll probably see you soon again.
Perfect. Thanks, Jasper.
Thank you.